Well, it's me again, making a video. I figure I'd make a video every day. I suppose it's like my video diary. The video diary of a man called Grant Salvin, who claims to be God, that nobody will acknowledge. Yep, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. So, yeah, carrying on from my last video, well, I spoke about how I'm watching the series Lost again. So I've never really watched all of it before, but I was looking for something to watch on Netflix because, most stuff I don't want to watch, and I couldn't even really tell you why I have a Netflix subscription, to be honest, because I so rarely use it. But I've been watching Lost recently, and it's a very interesting film. I explained how, I've explained so many times. In fact, I explain in almost every fucking video I even make how the world reflects me, and that's in media, art, music, movies, the news. I'm God. I affect everything. Okay, everything. The world revolves around me. Okay, I'm God. That's my power. Okay. It's like I am the source of all power, and human beings are like, they leech off my energy. That's how it works. And if they love me, they'll do it through Jesus Christ. Okay, who I was Jesus Christ. Or if they don't do it that way, they're leeching off me in some other way, which is not going to end well for them. Anyways, I explained how the characters, how they reflect me in different ways, and I talked about a bunch of the characters, and the series came out in 2004, which was about the time it was just after I left my boarding school. So I went to boarding school in September 2001. Okay, right before 9/11 happened. Okay, the World Trade Center came down after the planes crashed into them. Yeah. I went to a school. The school was called Charterhouse. Okay, the word charter is a very interesting word. Okay, my flesh biological dad, his name's Charlie. Yeah, and King Charles, he's got the same birthday as me, 14th of November. I say that almost every video now. Anyways, yeah. Well, you know what it said, in the when I was Jesus, didn't I say, be kind to your enemies, you'll be heaping the coals on them. Yeah, you know what charcoal is, yeah? Charlie. Yeah, you know what Charlie is, yeah. Anyways, I talked about the character in Lost. There's a character called Charlie, and he quits drugs. He's on, he's a heroin junkie, and he's called Charlie. Yeah. Anyways, blardy blur. But what's really interesting is that in 2001, when I was at boarding school, there was a film that came out in 2001, and it had, and the thing is that the film it's called The Hole. The HOLE, The Hole. And it had Thora Birch and Keira Knightley. And the story, it was based on a book. The film was based on a book, and the author of that book, he was actually a student at Charterhouse, and he wrote the story about students at Charterhouse, the boarding school. Okay. So yeah. And what happened was, there were some of these students in the story. It's like some of the boarding school students, they decide that at half term, they're not going to go home. I think it's like half term or something. they're supposed to go home for like, I think it's half term. But instead of going home, they find a bunker that's in the woods. And it's a bunker, so it's like there's like a hatch on the ground, yeah, and you open the hatch and there's a ladder that goes down into a big bunker. And so a bunch of the students went down there, and then the story is basically they went down there to party and have sex, and they find that they're locked in there, they can't get out. It has that kind of symbolism, the idea of people who are sinners, right, and then they basically they die in their sin. Where the idea is that they're sinning, and they got trapped in hell, basically. That's the kind of the symbolism of it, right? But you have to understand that all that stuff, it's all witchcraft against me, God. Okay? I mean, and the interesting thing about the series Lost, I mean, remember what Jesus says? I'm looking for the, I'm looking for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Yeah. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Yeah. You understand all that? And also explain that the word lost is interesting because, well, in magic, the butthole is the moon, it's the star, and it's the sun. And the word for sun in Latin is sol, right? S-O-L. Have you ever heard of Sol Invictus? Well, the word soul is in the word lost, and a T is the shape of a crucifix. It's said about Jesus, the Lord Jesus, he was crucified in that great city, figuratively called Sodom and Egypt. Okay, what is sodomy? And what is Egypt? Egypt is about bondage. How many times I've got to explain, it doesn't matter really, does it? Because people, they don't care. So they don't care. But anyways, in the series Lost, it's very interesting how there's that hatch, they discover the hatch that's in the ground. So there's, these people they've survived a plane crash, and that they found themselves on a very weird island. And no one comes to rescue them, and they're basically surviving. That's the whole idea of the series. And there's a very strange island, and lots of strange things happen. And so they find that hatch in the ground, and that's I'm watching that at the moment. I watched loads yesterday, and I've been watching loads this morning as well. But the idea is, they go down that hatch, and they find a computer where it says, every 108 minutes they've got to enter numbers. They've got to enter the number 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. And they've got to they got to enter that every 108 minutes. It's really interesting because I noticed in the, because the timer is 108 minutes, and there's art on the wall in that bunker. There's art on the wall. There's a sun that's been painted on the wall or on a door. So it's a painting of the sun, and it has the number 108 in it. Well, it's interesting because what does that all mean? What does that all mean? I mean, literally, like 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42 added together is 108. Yeah, it is, isn't it? So it's 4, 12, 43, 64. Wait, no, is that right? Fucking hell. Is that right? No, wait, 4, 8. Oh. Yeah. No, 43. 66 plus 42. Yeah. So it's 108. So those numbers together is 108, and the countdown is 108 minutes. Well, it all has to do with magic and stuff. I mean, do you know? So 108 in magic, in the tarot, the number 18 is associated with the moon. Okay? And in tarot, in the moon card, it has the 2 towers. Yeah? It has the 2 towers. 2004 plane crash. Yeah? I mean, I know all this stuff. I know, I can look at the actors' names. I know how it connects with people's stories and stuff. Like Aaliyah Dana Houghton, she died on the 25th of August, 2001. Is it a coincidence that the son in Lost, the black boy who's called Walt, his birthday is the 24th of August? Yeah, that's not an accident. It's not an accident. Oh, and it was all, produced by, what's his name? J.J. Abrams. Well, Abraham's an interesting name, isn't it? Yeah, Abraham. Yeah, wasn't it God? Yeah, me. I said to Abraham. Yeah, I said to him. Was he still called Abram when I called? Actually, maybe he was still called Abram at that point. But I told Abram, or Abraham, I said to him, you will, your ancestors, your descendants will be like the grains of sand on the seashore. And obviously the series Lost, well, they spent a lot of time standing on a fucking beach. Yeah? Anyway, whatever. No one cares, do they? Nope, never do. Well, it's Valentine's today. Valentine's Day today. Which is always an interesting day. I mean, I haven't had a girlfriend for, I don't know. How long has it been since I've been with a girlfriend? Well, the last time I was with a woman, I don't know. It's probably when I was about 25 years old. Yeah. Pretty much. And I'm 37 now. I'll be 38 on the 14th of November. See, that's when my birthday is, the 14th of November. Which, and 9 months before the 14th of November, well, that's the 14th of February. I mean, obviously, if I was conceived and then born exactly 9 months later, well, that means I would have been conceived on Valentine's Day, wouldn't I? 1987. So, yeah. And then I was born 14th of November. So it would have been around that time. Yeah. Anyways. See my pen? I don't use this very often. It's my Mont Blanc pen. Been using it a bit recently. I'm not even writing. I just like writing down just some useful information. Literally, I'm not even doing that much writing with it. Just like a couple of words worth of writing. I paid how much? I don't even know how much I fucking paid for this. What was it? 600 quid? 700 quid? Don't know. I need to do a bit of maintenance on it, I think. I need to give it a good clean. It needs to be emptied of ink and I need to wash it out and stuff. Anyways, whatever. I don't even care anymore. I've got to the point now where it's like, well, I'm kind of thinking, what should I do in my future? What can I do in my future? There's so many things I could do. And I'll tell you what, I started working. I quit my job. I was working as a van driver. How long has it been? It's been more than 3 years since I quit that job. So, yeah, my money situation's looking pretty good. Yeah, I would say pretty good. Yeah. So I've got things I can do. I'm thinking about other things. I'm thinking about other ways I can even make even more money, actually. And I'm kind of thinking, actually, maybe what I should do is, get my life organized. Maybe focus on my health. Quit smoking. Get some nice clothes, do lots of shopping, stuff like that. And I want to, I kind of want to plan for what I'm going to do in the future. So, you know, maybe I'll become a traveler. You know, maybe I'll. Do you know what I mean? I could do so many things. Like I could, you know, maybe move to another country, maybe somewhere like Dubai or Portugal or maybe El Salvador. Although I'm probably not there. I mean, there's so many different places I could go. I could go traveling. I could spend half the year traveling, just checking out different places. Yeah, it's an option anyway. So I wouldn't mind living somewhere where the weather's nice. I wouldn't mind living somewhere, you know, I can enjoy nice weather. And obviously, I quite like to live somewhere where I don't have to, you know, I would quite like to live somewhere I can maximize my profits. You know, like you know, obviously, if I can live somewhere where I don't have to pay very much tax on the work that I do, then you know, I mean, what's keeping me here? Nothing really. I mean, like, there's nobody. There's no human being that is making me want to stay anywhere, really. Not a single person. So I don't have any friends. I don't have any, I don't socialize with anybody. And that includes people who think they're my family. You know, I have nothing to do with them either. And I, you know, although I've sort of been thinking, like, I wouldn't mind having a pet. And obviously traveling, well, having a pet and traveling is not very easy. So, you know, I can't really do both, which is annoying. So yeah, I don't know. I have to think about it. So, but I'm getting interesting things. I'm getting things organized in my life. So I'm getting a few things organized, and I'm figuring things out bit by bit. Yeah. 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 I mean, I don't even know what to talk about anymore, really. I really don't. Because you know, I'm tired of pointing out all these things with magic that, you know, it almost seems pointless, really. Because nobody understands it. Nobody gets it, really. Nobody listens. No one gives a shit. So, yeah. Maybe I'll just stop making videos. I don't know. Oh, I got an order from Costa this morning. I noticed they've got a 40% discount. So if I spend 15 quid, I get a 40. It's on Just Eat. So order from Costa coffee, get a 40% discount and a freebie as well. If we're spending over 15 quid. So today I managed to get. I got a bottle of Smart Water, sparkling Smart Water, and I got a large mocha coffee, hot coffee. I got 2 chocolate twists, heated, and I got a salted caramel chocolate brownie, and then I got a freebie millionaire shortbread as well, like chocolate caramel shortbread, which is worth about £3.20. So I got that thrown in. I got that free as well. So I got a very good deal. And I think when they delivered it, it's fucking crazy actually, because the guy gave me the bag, And I opened the bag, and the fucking coffee was literally sideways. I mean, look, this is the coffee. Look, this is the coffee cup, right? And it was literally like this in the bag. It was like that. And I was like, what the fuck? And it didn't spill. I was quite shocked. Like, I would have thought that I'd literally put my hand in the bag and fucking tilt it back up. Yeah, I was a bit shocked. I was surprised that wasn't a total fucking disaster. I've never had a delivery from Costa where the coffee cup is sideways. It's just as well because sometimes they do actually. I'll sometimes open the bag, and the lid's like just falling off. You know what I mean? Like if it wasn't standing upright, it literally would have just spilled everywhere. But they were just obviously just lucky that because they put foil underneath the lid, and obviously the lid sometimes it has a tight fit, sometimes it doesn't. So I guess today they were very lucky, and I was very lucky. Anyways, that's just a bit of a weird story to tell, but I had to tell it. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, what can I really talk about, really? Yeah, well, this is the thing. I mean, my understanding is I am God. I am God, and the world ignores me. Isn't it interesting? So people ignore God. Well, that doesn't. You know what I mean? Does the fact that, you know what I mean, that's the thing, is the word ignore becomes before the word God. Yeah? Do you understand? So, you know, you're basically saying ignore. You're in terms of magic, you're saying that ignore is God. So if you ignore God, you are God. That's why people ignore me, because they're too busy wanting to be God. Because if they acknowledge me, they can't be ignoring me. You see, if people acknowledge me, you see, people, their way of operating is, you know, they believe they are God. They think they're me. I mean, have you ever heard of, you know, what it means to be clairvoyant or clairaudient? So if you're clairvoyant, you have visions, right? Like psychic visions. Or clairaudient is you hear words and you hear noise, you know, you hear things. And you don't really know where they come from. Well, obviously, that's the thing. People are, and that's the thing. I used to play the clarinet, okay? My name's not Claire, right? But I used to play the clarinet, right? I'm thinking actually about buying another one. I don't know what was the one I when I was a kid. I had quite an expensive one. It was probably like £600, I think. It was something like that. At the time, I think it was like about 400 or 500, 600 quid. I'm not sure what brand it was. It might have been a buffet. It's a buffet. Something, I don't know what it is. It was a B flat clarinet. And it's an interesting thing because, you know, it's a woodwind instrument. It has a reed on it. And, you know, in the book of Revelation, you know, it talks about, you know, I was given a reed like a measuring rod. Obviously, there are different translations of that, and that was, you know, and you know, it says that he was told to go measure the temple. No, I'll read it out. Look, it's Revelation chapter 11. Excuse me. Chapter 11. Revelation chapter 11, verse 1. I was given a reed like a measuring rod, and was told, "Go and measure the temple of God and the altar with its worshippers, but exclude the outer court. Do not measure it, because it has been given to the Gentiles. They will trample on the holy city for 42 months. Yeah, I mean, when I was learning the clarinet, my mum was a lesbian, right? She had a lesbian girlfriend, and they used to sleep in the same. They slept in the same house, the same bed, right? So when other kids would come around the house, they'd be like, "Oh, who's she?" I was like, "Oh, that's my Jennifer. That's my mum's sister." So Genesis, yeah, Genesis, yeah. Excuse me. Someone's trying to piss me off here. That's Mary, by the way. And yeah, it's demons. I'm surrounded by them. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't mention it if it weren't for the fact that I can't stop fucking choking. Yeah? There's a reason why. I mean, obviously I cough and I choke quite a lot from my smoking, but they aggravate me. Like poking me in my vocal cords and stuff like that to make me choke even more. Anyways, I was given a reed like a measuring rod and was told, "Go and measure the temple of God and the altar with its worshippers." Well, the interesting thing is, because I played the clarinet, and I used to play, I've played it in churches, I've played it in orchestra. I used to be in the orchestra when I was a kid. I used to take lessons at school. And obviously, that was bought and paid for by my flesh mum, Fiona, or her name's Fee. I mean, that's the interesting thing, because the TV show Friends, yeah. What's the name of that bitch? Who's played by Lisa Kudrow? Yeah, she's called Phoebe Buffet. Well, that's the thing, right? So the clarinet I probably had was a buffet. It's spelled Buffet. Okay? Brand, that's the make of the clarinet. And obviously my evil, demonic flesh mum, she bought that for me. You see, by doing that, it's witchcraft against me. Yeah? I mean, she called me Grant for a reason. You know what Grant means, right? If I give you this, yeah? If I fucking stick my fist in your face, yeah? I'm granting you a fist in the face. You understand? You see how the word grant works? You fucking stupid. You know what? Explaining myself it shouldn't be that hard. It really shouldn't be that hard. It's just like, a guy I worked with, his name was John Battle. Okay? John Battle. I know quite, yeah, Jonathan Battle. Very skinny van driver guy. He bought me a t-shirt. He gave me a t-shirt because he had all kinds of t-shirts. It said Brave Soul on it, right? Yeah. Well, that's the thing, I'm God. My throne is in heaven, right? So, what does that mean? Well, my throne is my ass, but, my chair, well, throne is a chair, isn't it? And, if my throne is in heaven, well, I'm always in this fucking house. Does that mean this house is heaven? And Jonathan, he came to my house. He came to this house, and he gave me the t-shirt. John Battle, it says, there was a war in heaven. Yeah? There was a war in heaven. It's interesting. When I was at boarding school, there was a guy, he was in the year below me. His name is John First. Okay? He went on to be the world online DMC champion, DJing, to scratch DJ. In fact, I used to talk to him online. I used to talk to him on, I don't know, probably like MySpace and Facebook or whatever. It was probably before Facebook. Do you know what I mean? It was on MySpace probably. It's a long time ago. You know, I used to, because he was learning to DJ at the same time I was learning to DJ. But he was learning to be a scratch DJ, and I was playing club tunes. I was playing club tunes more than anything else. So scratching really wasn't my thing. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Oh, I always wonder why I got so fucking itchy. But yeah, John Battle, the guy I used to work with, well, technically he's like the last guy I probably ever called friend, to be honest. He's the last person I actually called a friend. Yeah, I used to tell him, I'm Jesus. I said to him, I'm Jesus Christ. And I used to call, you know, I used to ask him, say, maybe, I used to say to him that I thought he was John the Baptist. I was, you know, that's the thing, I was trying to get information out. I was trying to figure out, who is he? Who is he? I mean, that's the thing, I spent a lot of time talking to him. You know, sometimes we'd go out doing routes together, so we would work together sometimes. Most of the time we were working on it by ourselves, but sometimes, you know, two drivers would go together to do the same job. You know, you know, that was my job, okay? It was, you know, I used to work for the delivery company, Hermes. It's now called Every. And, you know, I used to drive 3.5 ton Luton vans, you know, and have loads of sacks for collect, you know, go to, you know, maybe like 15 shops in a day, you know, petrol stations, news agents, whatever, off licenses, supermarkets sometimes. You know, be driving 100 miles, finding out the best route to do it, and you know, parking, and you know, having to deliver a bunch of parcels, scan them there, and then scan all the parcels you're supposed to take. You know, it could be like 20 parcels, or it could be 200 parcels. You know, I've gone to shops where I've had to collect 200 parcels before, and I mean, that shit is fucking, that's horrible. It's a fucking horrible job. Shit pay. I mean, no one's gonna fucking tip you for that job, I'll tell you that much. No, you know, I mean, it's shit, terrible pay. You have to drive like a fucking maniac to get the job done. And people are inconsiderate parkers. You know, people want to constantly get in the way, and you know, people always try to, you know, you always having to battle with people to get, you know, and parking is a fucking nightmare. The people who, you know, you know what I mean, like they're gonna, you know what I mean, they're gonna have a shop that's gonna have loads of all these parcels and stuff like that, you know, hundreds of parcels to collect, and it's like you can't even get parked near the shop. Some places it's almost impossible, so you got to drag them all the way down the fucking street. I mean, there's no, you know what I mean, like you got a bag of like, do you know what I mean? I'm filling up bags, and the bags are like, you know, they could be 30 kilos, they could be 40, 50, 60 kilos. I've had bags so heavy I couldn't even fucking lift them off the fucking ground. I've had bags so heavy that it's like, well, you know, that's when I used to go to a place that was a car parts. You know, they used to supply car parts, and like it was like tire parts. It was like, I think it's to do with tires, and it's car parts. So a lot of it was like solid metal, and then you fill up a fucking big sack with solid metal items. Do you know what I mean? That fucking thing. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's more than my fucking body weight. I couldn't even get it off the fucking ground. I mean, and shit, and having to do that shit all day long. Fucking what a shit job. It was an experience. I'll say that. It was definitely an experience. And I'm glad I could say that I've done it. But, you know, I would never go back to it. Ever. Ever. It's not worth it. it's not worth it. For the amount of money. I mean, I have a driver's license. I like having a driver's license. I like having a clean record. I like having all that stuff. You know what I mean? Why the fuck would I want to risk it for some shit fucking company? I mean, fair enough. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, look, I'm God. I ain't working for anybody ever again. You forget that. That ain't fucking happening. Yeah. So, that's the thing. I've told so many people who I am. They don't believe me. They don't care. And I do my best to show my evidence, and they don't see it. They don't see it the way I see it. So that's where it ends, I mean, I alter, world events happen because of me. News stories because of me. Movies because of me. Music. The world is obsessed with my energy. People think my thoughts, they say my words, they copy me in so many different ways. But when I show people this, when I say, look, this is, I could say something to someone someday, right? Have a conversation with them, talk to them about something, and the next day, there's, that subject becomes the news story of the next day. And I'm like, look, remember what we were talking about yesterday? Look at this fucking news article. Do you not realize that, the reason I was, and I explained, I said, that's the world reflecting me. And they're just like, yeah, whatever. Don't care. They really don't care. So, and, I sit and say, well, look, World War III is going to happen. Millions of people are going to die. Yeah. But still, nobody cares. And if that's the case, if I'm God and the entire world is wanting to ignore me, if the entire world refuses to acknowledge me, and I say, well, if the world thinks they can ignore me, while trying to steal my destiny and trying to ruin my life and trying to do all this witchcraft against me, well, I'm going to destroy the world. And, that's fair. That is totally fair, in my opinion. I'm God, and if those who I created will refuse to acknowledge me and do witchcraft against me, well, I'm the creator. I have every right to destroy those who are trying to destroy me. And that's how it's going to go. And you know what? I'm tired of making videos explaining it. I'm tired of explaining it. So, I might as well, why am I not just focusing on me? Do you know what I mean? Like, have fun. I got money, so, I can, why can't I go on holiday? Why can't I go spend a month in Vegas or something like that? I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be nice if I could just go to Las Vegas and take 20 grand? Do you know what I mean? And just, I could, do you know what I mean? Like, I could go play poker and blackjack and baccarat and check out Vegas, or I could go, I could do that. I could, maybe I could take a look at Dubai if I wanted to check out Dubai, or, I could go to Amsterdam for a couple of weeks or something. Maybe go to New York. I don't know. There's so many places I could go. There's so many things I could do. Do you know what I mean? What the fuck am I doing sitting here all the time? I've got... Do you know what I mean? I could be making loads more money. Easily. Like, very easy money. I mean, the guy I used to work with, John Battle, he's been working those types of jobs, van driving jobs, for ages. I mean, do you know what I mean? How much is he earning? Less than 20 grand a year. Do you know what I mean? When I was doing that job, I was earning, I don't know, 16 grand, 18 grand a year, maybe at the most. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could make. Do you know what I mean? I could. Do you know what I mean? I could do a couple hours work, and I could make 10 times that easily in a year. From where I'm sitting. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to work. I really don't. You know, there's so much easy money available to me. So, and the fact is that, you know, I don't really know what else to do in my life, really. I'm definitely not working for anybody. I mean, what a waste of time. People, you know, people are evil, and, you know, do you know what I mean? For me, because the world refuses to acknowledge me, well, that means that the world to me are basically snakes everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine if you opened your front door and you looked at a world, and the world was, all you saw everywhere, you just saw snakes everywhere. Snakes everywhere. You know, would you want to would you like to throw yourself into a pit of snakes? Would that be a good idea? No. You know, the world is a snake to me. You know, that's the thing. The world is a snake to me, and a poisonous snake that I don't particularly want to spend any time with. So, I mean, why the fuck would I? See, the world wants to be a snake to me, so I can be the snake to the world. You know what I mean? The world's going to look at me like the snake. Satan. That's what the world's going to see me as. When the world feels my wrath, they're going to think I'm Satan. They're going to think I'm, you know, they won't acknowledge me as God. They'll think I'm Satan. You know, they're going to call me a liar. They're going to call me a murderer. You know, to them, I am Satan. Because they hate me, and I hate them. And if there's actually anyone out there who actually loves me, well, you know, they can call me Father. It's very strange for me, you know, because my experience with human beings has been awful for the last 37 years. I mean, I couldn't. I don't have any good experiences to draw from at all, and especially when it comes to male role models, because my dad was not a dad, and anybody else who could have perhaps taken that place didn't do it. So, so, you know, for me to be a father, you know, it's a bit of a weird thought, that, really. It's a very weird thought. You know, that's the thing. I've been left for dead, you see. Obviously, I'll do the best I can. I'll do the best that I can, you know. Hopefully people will understand. Anyways, yeah, so, you know, I've been looking at, because one of the things I used to do, right, ages ago, when I first started looking at Bitcoin, well, Bitcoin futures, when Bitcoin futures trading was a thing, when it first started being a thing, and I'm talking like back in probably 2015, 2016, that's when I was dibbling and dabbling with it, basically. Very, very, very risky thing, and you know, I went right into the deep end with that stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, in this country now, they've banned it. It's not allowed for retail investors anymore. But apparently, I found out yesterday that on decentralized exchanges, it is actually possible. So, yeah, I might look into that. I need to look at how taxation works. Because I was thinking, like, you know, if I because I've got Bitcoin, and obviously, I have to pay capital gains tax on that when I sell it. And then, what's my tax bill going to be? And then obviously, if I do futures trading on Bitcoin, obviously, if I do a certain amount of money on that, and I can do risky trading with that. And if I do lose that money, well, surely then, wouldn't that I can reduce my tax bill anyway? So basically, there's no loss. Do you know what I mean? Like if I hadn't done it at all, I still would have had to pay a certain amount of money in tax. But yeah, I don't know. I need to yeah, well, yeah, I don't know how that would work actually. No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look into that. I'd have to look into that properly, because taxation is never that simple, is it really? Especially when it comes to derivatives trading with all sorts of weird fucking coins and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, that ain't gonna be simple. So anyways, but it gives me something to do, doesn't it? And no doubt once I figured it all out, I think, wow, I probably should move to Dubai, make my life a hell of a lot simpler, and I'll make a lot more money. But saying that, it costs more to live in Dubai. So, maybe Portugal, maybe somewhere else. I mean, the great thing about Portugal is, well, their laws there are quite interesting. Apparently they've legalized drugs over there, which is quite interesting. Yeah, well, apparently that's the case. So it's not illegal for people to do drugs over there, and they don't seem to have any huge problems with drugs. So yeah, I think there's something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's very interesting. That I quite like the sound of that actually. Not that I'm advocating for the usage of drugs or anything, but I'm just saying that yeah, I might like living there. I might like living there. Spanish was one of my favorite languages to learn, actually, and Portuguese. Well, it's quite similar, isn't it? Really. And Spain's obviously right next door to Portugal, so I can imagine myself spending quite a lot of time in Spain and Portugal. I imagine I would enjoy both places. Nice weather, so nothing to complain about there. They're a bit crazy though over in Spain, and I suppose Portugal. I don't know about Portugal, but in Spain, where they do all the bullfighting, and yeah, it's crazy. Like fucking hell. Yeah, they really. Yeah, it's a bit of a crazy thing that they do, isn't it? Fighting with bulls. Yeah, not the smartest idea, probably. I've seen a few guys. They've got, they're basically, they get attacked by a bull, and the bull sticks its horn, and it goes right through the soft bit under their jaw, and it goes right through their mouth and comes out of their mouth. And they get impaled on the bull's horn. I've seen a couple of guys in videos that's happened to. Bet that was fucking painful. Fucking hell. Anyways. ADHD. Do I have ADHD? No. I think I've just run out of things to talk about, really. And explaining how the world works, well, You know, if you know what I mean, like to explain to anybody how the world works, it sounds like ADHD, really. But people don't listen, people don't fucking care either, so why the fuck do I even bother? I just felt like talking, so, you know, I had a few things I wanted to mention. I bought a lightsaber. Yeah, I bought a lightsaber. I paid about, was 150 quid for it. And they don't supply, you know, it comes with a charging cable, but it needs a charging plug, which it doesn't come with. And it needs to be exactly 5 volts, 1 amps. Right, so it needs to be a 1 amp, 5 volt plug. And I don't have one, so I have to order it online. It costs like £5. It's like, well, why didn't they just include it with the lightsaber? But anyways, whatever. I mean, you know, I'm not really that interested in. I mean, the reason I bought it is because, well, it's magic. You know, I've bought a lot of things. I've got a Blade Runner replica gun. I paid £1,000 for that. You know, I've got an Omega watch. You know, I paid nearly 6,000. I got a whole bunch of watches. It was crazy. Like on this side of the room, I've got my 3 most expensive watches, and they're sitting on top of a box on my coffee table. And the other day, I brought some shopping in, and I had some toilet roll, and I wanted to throw it to the other side of the room. So I threw it from the kitchen all the way across the room, and I threw it, and I forgot that my watches were over there, and I was like, you know, this far away from fucking breaking all my watches. I mean, that's literally like, that's nearly 14 grand's worth of watches, like almost damaged in one stupid move. Yeah, not the smartest idea. I won't be doing that again. I need to put my watches away, I think. Yeah. Anyways, I've been getting access to some interesting stuff. Because I've got Bitcoin, yeah, I'm looking, you know, for an interesting financial products I can use for spending. So I've just signed up to it's like a mobile banking. It's a banking product called Revolut. And I just ordered the Ultra card. So it's going to cost me about £45. Well, it's £55 a month for the card, but it gives access to all kinds of stuff. It's got loads of benefits. So, you know, it comes with things like NordVPN. It comes with subscriptions. It comes with a Financial Times subscription. It's got a whole bunch of other subscriptions that it comes with. Gives it access to like airport lounges. It comes with a 3 gigabyte SIM card as well for internet data for going abroad and stuff, I think. And it comes with it gives like, there's cash back, and there's and it has the best rates for different currency exchanges and stuff like that. And so, I mean, that's the thing, because I'm going to be dealing with a lot of money. I mean, it makes sense to get the best cards because it has all the best rates and it'll pay for itself anyway. And apparently, you know, I'll probably get more cash back than I actually pay for the card anyway. So it's a no-brainer, if you know what I'm saying. It's not that I don't have a brain, but if you know what I'm saying, it's the best idea to use it. So I've ordered one of them. I bought a really nice hardware wallet as well. I paid 400 quid for it. Thinking about getting another one as well. Might get 2 of them. But basically, I'm getting things all nice and organized for myself, and I'm going to focus on money. And you see, the world isn't giving me what I want, so I'm tired of sitting here and waiting for the world to give me what I asked for. So instead of waiting for the world to give me what I want, I simply cannot be bothered to keep doing this. So, I may as well, do you know what I mean, get my life organized. I might as well, look after my health. I might as well go on holiday. I might as well go out and buy myself nice clothes. I might as well entertain myself. I mean, what the fuck am I doing this, every single fucking day? I sit in this chair for 15 plus hours a day. And if I'm not in this chair, I'm in my bed sleeping. Most of my shopping I get through Just Eat. You know what I mean? Like I order from Just Eat all the time. Do you know what I mean? I'm paying a lot of money for my shopping when I really don't need to. Do you know what I mean? I mean, my car, I haven't driven it in, I don't even know when the last time I drove it. I really need to take it for a drive. I really need to take it out for a long drive. Yeah, I've got so much to do. I'm tired of wasting my time on people. A world of people who all they want to do is ignore me, to their own detriment. So yeah, I mean, I just feel like, I've been doing this too long to keep doing it this way. I need to do other things. I need to do other things. So, I saw in the news, it was talking about Russia. Apparently they attacked the nuclear site in Chernobyl, I think. It was saying something about that. Oh, excuse me. Well, Pope Francis is hospitalized, is he? Who has been breathless. Oh, he's lost his breath, is he? He's unable to breathe, is he? Why is that then? Maybe you got COVID, huh? Yeah, that story about Chernobyl. Oh, here it is. Ukraine claims Russian drone hits Chernobyl power plant. Shelter protecting the world from radiation is damaged as IAEA monitor for signs of deadly leak. Well, whatever. I don't fucking care. Yeah, I mean, whatever. So, Valentine's Day. Yeah. Valentine's Day. I hate Valentine's Day. I really do. So what's the story behind, people call him Saint Valentine? So what's the story? Oh. So is there actually any truth? Although the truth behind the Valentine legend is murky, so so it had some so Valentine basically it had to do with the Roman Empire, wasn't it? So the Roman Emperor Claudius, he wanted Valentine to renounce his Christian faith, but Valentine refused to. That's the story, apparently. So, anyways, I think Valentine, he was marrying people, I guess, something like that. But I mean, obviously, people on Valentine's Day, what do? They fuck and suck. That's basically what they do, isn't it? Really, they get wasted and buy chocolate and flowers and have sex and sleep around. Yeah, so, I mean, this is the thing, I'm God, I haven't had a relationship with a woman for a very, very long time. In fact, I don't have a relationship with anybody, as far as I can tell. I mean, I don't have any friends. I don't have anybody to talk to. Except you, of course, through the camera, if you actually watch. If anyone, I mean, most of my videos say no views. So, I guess I'm not speaking to anybody, except myself, really. I might change someday, maybe not. But that's the thing, the world does what it does, people of the world, they like to have friends. It was said, if you're friends with the world, you're an enemy of God. Yeah, I mean, how much more do I have to emphasize that? What more can I say? I don't have any friends. I couldn't tell you their name. I couldn't tell you where they live. Nobody. So, yeah, that's my life, and I tell you, I'm God. And I've been living this way for ages. The average human being in my shoes would have committed suicide. Yeah, they would have. I'm fairly certain of that. Or they would, that's the thing, it's been a very difficult journey for me. I mean, that's the thing, my journey was very difficult. It was in early 2019 when I got surrounded by demons. I started feeling like I was being physically attacked by ghosts. Okay, that's what happened. And that was when I started to begin to realize who I am. Because it started with, wow, I thought I was cursed. And I thought, wow, like, what, I had to figure out what had gone wrong. I had to figure out why all this was happening to me. And then I realized that I'm God. That's how I got to here. So, yeah. I'm really bored of telling that story. I mean, who wants to make hundreds of videos explaining the same thing again and again and again? Nobody. What a boring way. What a boring way to live one's life, huh? Making videos every day, explaining the same fucking thing again and again and again and again and again to nobody. Nobody wants to listen anyway. No one cares. I mean, this is the thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? I've made so many videos and I've had so little views, and you know, I mean, that's the thing, right? The world does not want me to be known. I mean, even if the people who watched me didn't believe anything that I said, but just, you know, just listened to me, you know, and basically just thought, wow, this guy's fucking crazy. This guy's fucking crazy. I mean, there are plenty of YouTubers who have massive followings, but, you know, and you know, people think they're fucking crazy. You know what I mean? The only reason they listen to someone is to think, wow, what a fucking nut job. You know, they're entertained by the fact that the person they're listening to sounds totally fucking mad. And I can't get anything, really. I mean, you know, I've got over 1,000 videos, I've got 23 subscribers, and I've barely got any views at all. The most views I ever seem to get are on stupid little short videos I make, and that's it. You know, I've had a few short videos where maybe I get like 100 views or something like that. You know, if I'm very lucky on a short, but most nothing. I mean, you know, the last 50 or so videos, you know, most of them say no views at all. So why the fuck do I even bother? I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, you know, obviously I want to explain who I am. I want people to acknowledge who I am. But obviously the world does not want to acknowledge who I am. So, you know, I may as well just cut my losses now and basically just say, well, it's time for me to move on. It's time for me to get my life in order. You know, why should I have piles of rubbish piling up next to me when, you know, I could have a clean house. You know, I can, you know, if I want to go, you know, go on a little holiday somewhere, you know, somewhere nice and peaceful, somewhere I can, you know, sit in front of a fireplace, put my feet up or whatever it is, you know, or I can go, you know, abroad. I could find myself a nice quiet beach somewhere where there's hardly anyone around, you know, somewhere I can have a few drinks, smoke a cigar, you know, lie on a beach, get a tan, do a bit of exercise, eat some nice food, whatever. You know, there's so many things I could do. There's so many things I could do on my own without anybody. You know, I could go on little trips, you know, I'd go see museums, I could do whatever, you know what I mean? I'd go to theme parks. I mean, it's boring doing it on my own. It is boring doing it on my own, but at the same time, you know, I'm out of ideas. You know, making videos isn't, you know, telling people that I'm God and asking people to acknowledge that I'm God. It's not going anywhere. I've been doing this a long time now. I've been doing this for years and years. People aren't interested, and you know, the fact is, it's the world that will suffer as a result of that. I'm pissed off. I'm angry. I'm unhappy. I'm upset that the world refuses to acknowledge I'm God. But you know, I can either sit here and just keep moaning about it, or I can go do something else, and you know, and try to have some fun doing something else for a change. You know, that's not going to improve anything for the world. The world is going to get worse. People are going to suffer. You know, terrible things will happen to the people of the world. And I may as well go have some fun while I wait for people to realize how evil they are, if they ever do. If not, they'll be destroyed. You know what I mean? I might as well, you know what I mean? I might as well, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I'd like to try to hold on to my sanity. Okay? I'd like to, I mean, that's the thing. Sitting in a chair for 16 hours plus a day, worrying about this same thing year after year after year with no breaks. I mean, I do this 7 days a week. I haven't had a holiday in years, and I've got tons of money. I've got loads of money that I can, you know, I can go out and go shopping. I could buy nice clothes. I can, you know, I can go out to fancy restaurants. I can, you know, I've got a nice car. I could drive around the country. I could drive across Europe if I wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, I could go on a road trip. I could. There's tons of stuff I can do. I don't have to work for anybody. You know, I've got plenty of money to have fun with. And actually, at the moment, well, they're kind of thinking, I might actually start doing a bit of poker. I was thinking, you know, maybe if I could find some decent, you know, play online poker. But I wouldn't mind, you know, well, I'm thinking about it as an option. I'm thinking about maybe, you know, maybe I could go down the casino, see if there are any decent poker games happening, you know, as long as there's a dealer at the table who's going to deal the cards for us, because I'm not fucking dealing for anybody. That's too much effort. But I have played in Bristol before, actually. I've gone to, this was years and years and years ago. It's one of the only times I've ever played in a casino. I've played a poker game at a casino. I've played a few times, but when I was in Bristol, there was actually a dealer. It was a cash game, and I actually made some money. So I made like 60 quid or something. So yeah, it was a bit of fun. I think it was Gala Casino, but I don't even know if it's there anymore. But yeah, I might check it out. Give me something to do. Maybe not. Boredom is a serious problem for me these days. Look, I am God, and you know what I'm looking for. You know, I want to see the world punished for trying to ruin my life. The world is trying to ruin my life, so I want to punish the world for doing that. And that means, you know, like, I expect to wake up some days and read, you know, headlines of, you know, thousands of people dead. Yeah, that's what I mean when I say the world getting punished. You know, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, right? I'm God, and you know, that's how it happens. You know, like when, you know, well, you know what happened in Turkey. You know, there was the earthquake, 50,000 people died. I'm talking about that kind of event. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, back in 2004. Yeah, 2004. You know, Lost. You know, the same year Lost started and all that shit. Yeah. You know, Southeast Asia, wasn't it? Thailand. You know, they got hit by the tsunami. Yeah, how many people died, was it? They said it was like 100,000 or something. You know, and then 2011, Japan got hit by that massive tsunami. Yeah, that's the kind of punishment I'm trying to inflict on people. That's what I'm looking for. I mean, that's the thing. Do you know what I mean? It has to be worse than that. That's the thing. Like, it has to be. People have to see something so bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, people need to hear stories of, like millions of people dead. Like, just dead in an instant. Before, you know what I mean? And that has to happen again and again and again and again and again. Because if that doesn't happen, then people don't question. Then they don't ever say, well, maybe God's angry. They don't actually consider the possibility that God has something to do with it. They won't. They have no, it takes so much death and destruction for people to actually be like, oh, hang on a minute, maybe God's trying to communicate something with us. Maybe God's not happy. So, it takes millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people to die so that people will change. All those people have to die so some people can get saved. And, and I have to explain that so that when it does happen, people can be like, oh yeah, he said that. Yeah, he said that. He said that that terrible thing was going to happen, and then it happened. But that's the thing, there have been so many times I've said that. There's been so many times I've posted stuff to social media, and then the next thing, well, that's the thing, before the, as an example, in Los Angeles, they had the wildfires, right? They had the mass. It's like the greatest. It's like the worst fire incident they've had in the United States in modern history, in recorded history, apparently, and I was posting a lot of stuff about angels on Facebook. Well, no, it was on X. On X. And obviously Los Angeles, the word angel is in the word. Yeah, when I say I posted a lot of videos about angels, well, I'm talking literally like hundreds of videos. Okay, hundreds of videos, and about people who live in Los Angeles. Yeah, hundreds of videos of other people who live in Los Angeles. And then the massive fire broke out in Los Angeles. And people, that's the thing. It's because it's magic. The reason that happened is because of magic. It's not like I said I wanted that particular thing to happen. It's because there's a magic battle that I was participating in, and that fire was the outcome of the magic battle that I was participating in. Okay, and you can see the connection through the words. And I've shown that so many times. I mean, I've got nearly, on X, I've got nearly like 12,000 posts. And on Facebook, I've probably got more like 18,000 posts. And that's, that's been done over, it's been like, on my Facebook page, I opened that at the beginning of 2022. So this only been like 3 years. 3 years and a month. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot. I've been working very, very hard at trying to show who I am. Yet nobody cares. I can't get any exposure. People won't give me, my camera, obviously it has its exposure settings, stuff, but I don't get any exposure. The world refuses to give me exposure. The world doesn't want anybody else to know that I exist. One person might be watching me, spying on me, having a good laugh at me, thinking, it's funny. And, nobody the message doesn't get passed on. The message just gets stopped. The person anyone who actually watched this video, it gets stopped at them because they're not going to tell anybody else. Or they're not going to they're not going to acknowledge that I'm God. They're not going to tell anyone. Be like, oh, by the way, God, he's on video and he's pissed off and he wants everyone to know how pissed off he is. People won't do it. People don't refuse to acknowledge me. So that's what the world does. Everywhere I go, the world is always trying to put a roadblock in front of me. every way I turn, the world is trying to block my path. And I've been fighting that for 37 years of this life. And everyone I've ever known has done that to me. And, you know, well, you don't know. Unfortunately for me, but this is the thing, the reason I make these videos is because I want people to stop doing it. But people refuse to stop doing it. So, you know, my best option is really, you know, try to do the best for myself, try to take care of myself. You know, perhaps, you know, I need to try to improve my quality of life. As much as I can, really. You know, I've got to think about my health, I've got to think about my sanity, I've got to think about all kinds of stuff. I've got to, there really is no point in me repeating myself every single day. There really isn't. I mean, the thing is that, you know, I've recorded all these videos and, you know, I've explained, like, why the world deserves to be punished. Why the world is so... I mean, obviously that was all explained. When I was Jesus Christ explained why the world is evil and why the world deserves to be destroyed. You know, why those who do not love God through Jesus Christ are on the path to destruction. You know, that, you know, and all these videos that I've done, all the explaining I've done, it demonstrates that perfectly. Because while the world wants to sing and dance and screw around, I sit here and I suffer. You know, I have to suffer through pain and misery, loneliness, being ignored, ridiculed, mocked, insulted, attacked with witchcraft. You know, my entire experience of this life is living in, I live in a world full of psychopathic clowns who want to attack me with witchcraft and think that they are God. They want to think that they are God and deny me. They deny me, they deny that I'm God, and they want to act like they are God. So, you know, you don't, but I really need to stop saying that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm very bored of living in this world, so I really have to try to take care of myself a little bit better. And obviously, you know, I can try that for a while and see where that leads. Obviously, you know, I need to tidy my house. I need to get my house in order, get my finances in order, get everything all. You know, I need to get everything. You know, and obviously, once I've got everything organized in my life, I've got more options to think about. So, yeah. So I don't know where I'm going with all this, but eventually, you know, I don't know where I'm going with my life and my YouTube channel either, or Facebook or X. You know, I don't know what I'm going to be posting. I don't know what I'll be talking about. I don't know. You know, I don't know what, you know, the world's going to look like in 6 months or a year. But quite honestly, I'm ready to, you know, I basically have a few options ready, because, you know, I'm not enjoying life at all. I haven't been enjoying life ever, really. My life has been a horrible joke so far. So, you know, I can make one last attempt at it, I think, to try to find a bit of happiness in my life. Which I really struggle, even just thinking about it. You know, like, I mean, that's the thing. I find, yeah, but, you know, maybe if I can go on holiday by myself, you know, even if I don't really talk to anybody, you know, I can do sightseeing, I can go see places, you know, I can keep myself entertained a bit. You know, maybe lying on a nice beach, you know, maybe if I went somewhere like the Maldives, you know, got myself a beach hut, you know, do a little bit of scuba diving, snorkeling, whatever, you know, swimming around the coral reefs and stuff, lying on the beach all day, that kind of thing, you know, like, why can't I do that? You know, why can't I do something like that? You know, I can have a beer, smoke some shisha or whatever, right? You know, relax. Or maybe go on, you know, a surfing holiday or a skiing holiday. You know, maybe I want to start doing things like skydiving, you know? I mean, that's the thing, like, if I'm at the point where I'm ready to you know, basically, like, I don't really feel like I want to live anymore. I mean, I've been like that for ages, so and that's one of the reasons why I got into trading. You know, that's one of the reasons why I started gambling. That's why because I was suffering from depression so much. You know, when I started getting into Bitcoin futures trading, when I was doing very risky stuff with money, I was prepared to do all of that because I was prepared to go. I was literally like, well, look, you know, my life's so horrible and shit that I really don't wish to want to live much longer anyway. So, you know, I just kind of looked at it, yeah, and I thought to myself, well, if I'm gonna, you know, why not just roll the dice then? If I'm going to, you know, think like that, well, then, you know, why not take some risks? You know, I figured to myself, well, I might as well take some risks and see what I can, you know, maybe I'll get lucky and, you know, my standard of living will improve. And, you know, so basically, yeah. So, you know, that's the kind of life I live, really. It's very on the edge. So, no, you know, maybe I want to get into things like skydiving. You know? See those videos of guys with, you know, wingsuits. You know, they do base jumping and stuff like that, and they get their wingsuits and they fly around mountain ranges and stuff like that. You know, shit, maybe I want to do something like that. You know what I mean? Be great content for a YouTube channel as well. You know what I mean? There's all sorts of things I could do. I could start doing all kinds of risky, crazy stuff. Because there's really not much for me to live for, really. So, I mean, that's the thing. That's the amazing, you know, I mean, you know, I was Jesus, and I said, you know, all you have to do is read the New Testament, and, you know, I mean, the whole idea of, you know, dying, you know, do not fear death, you know, do you know what I mean? Like, those who try to hold on to their lives will lose their lives. Yeah, people who try to keep their lives will lose their lives, and those who, you know, and Jesus said, those who lose, you know, he said, those who will lose their lives for Jesus will find their lives. Okay, so I mean that's really it's an interesting thing, isn't it? It's getting to the point in my life where I don't fear death. I don't because if I die, it's not a problem. I don't really care. I'm not really that worried if I do. But obviously being in that position, it's like, well, now I'm prepared to live life totally on the edge. And that means I could, but it makes life becomes very different all of a sudden. It's an interesting way to live. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that people should all be doing risky things. Like, I'm God, I was Jesus Christ. I'm not telling people they should go skydiving without any, regards to their safety and stuff like that. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, the idea is, you're supposed to save people so they don't go to hell. They don't get tossed into the lake of fire. You know what I mean? You're supposed to die for your brothers and sisters in Christ. That's the idea of it, right? You're supposed to, follow the example of the sacrificial lamb. But I'm God. That's the thing. I'm not, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not doing that anymore. Okay? That's not me. I did that, and now it's time for justice. It's time for me to get justice. And so, but the world won't give me my justice. The world refuses to give me my justice. So, I'm happy to just go out and do some crazy stuff, basically, and see what happens to me, basically. I mean, it's an idea, isn't it? I mean, it's better than sitting in a chair yapping all day long. So, about the same thing again and again and again and again and again. That no one wants to hear. I never went skydiving. I did actually want to try it. Years and years and years and years ago. It was sort of on my list of things to try. So yeah, good for gets the adrenaline pumping. Yeah. Parachutes. Yeah, parachutes. I always remember that video of a guy. He was on a wing. He had his wingsuit, and he was trying to fly. What was it? Under the bridge. He was trying to fly. He was coming down from the sky, and I think he was supposed to fly. He was supposed to fly either above the bridge, just above the bridge, or below the bridge. I can't remember, but he miscalculated it. And he flew and he fucking smashed straight into the bridge and splattered into the bridge. Yeah. That's not very good, is it? But, saying that, it's a quick way to die. So. Sometimes shocked by what I see on X. Sometimes. Because I don't look around on X for stuff to watch. But I post a lot on X, and the feed comes up, right, and it shows posts from all kinds of people, and quite often I see very brutal things that come up. I've ever seen a video of a guy falling off a building. I think he fell from like the 10th floor or something like that. You see him like watch him fall all the way to the ground, and just lying on the ground, totally broken. See some very interesting content on X. Very strange. There's a lot of content that I hate, though. Do you know what I mean? I think the shit that people post online is so much crap. All their stupid fucking memes and Do you know what I mean? People post so much fucking crap. It's so much crap. You know, people think they're edgy and funny, and they think they're intelligent for posting some junk. I mean, it is so much of this. It is crap. It is total crap. There's so many people in the world, they think that they're smart. They think that they know the stuff, you know. And they really don't. They really don't. They're really stupid. And when they realise the truth, well, they're going to look back at all the shit that they've done through their entire lives. I mean, let's talk about, you know, the average person who's a supporter of Donald Trump and Nigel Farage and Elon Musk, and, you know, they all got their Pepe Frog memes and Keck memes and edgy memes and, you know, all the shit that they post online and all this kind of stuff. They think they're really smart. They think they really know stuff. I mean, this is the thing, you know, back in 2016, I bet £1,500 that Brexit was going to happen. Yeah, I won, was it £6,500 or £7,000? I bet £2,500 that Donald Trump would win the 2016 election. I got back about £12,000. So, you know, I did it all before. You know, this is nearly a decade ago. Yeah. But people are, you know, that's the thing, I'm God. I'm God. The world is, you know, this is the thing, I'm always at the leading edge. The world is always trailing behind me. And I'm always having to, you know, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like there's a crowd of people, right? And then there's the guy who's leading the group of people, you know what I mean? And he's like turning around, like, you people just hurry the fuck up. Do you know what I mean? I've spent my entire life just looking back at people, like crowds of people following me, but they're far off in the distance. That's the thing, you know, because I'm always ahead of people. That's the thing, because I'm God. I am the fucking head. But no one will acknowledge me. People steal my thoughts and ideas, and they don't acknowledge me. I mean, imagine that. Imagine you're stealing the thoughts and ideas of someone out of their head, and then pretending that they're yours. Well, that's what the entire world does to me. I'm God. People mimic me. And when I say, you're copying me, they go, nah, you're crazy. Yeah, that's basically, you know, it's a clown show. And I'm sick of having to watch it all. You know, if I could go lie on a nice sunny beach, you know, I can get on one of those, you know what I mean? I want to be a nice quiet beach, you know, when, you know, I don't want to go when everyone else does their stupid fucking package holidays and everyone else is crammed onto the same fucking beach as me. No, I want to go to a place where it's quiet. I want to go when there's nobody else there, right? I want to go there when there's like 10 people in the hotel. I want to go outside and see like there's like 2 or 3 people in the entire area. You know what I mean? I'm going to have sun lounges all to myself, you know, bars, you know, the barman or barmaids, do you know what I mean? They'll just be waiting for me to come get my next drink. You know, and I'll be lying on the beach by myself. You know, I might see a couple of people wandering around. That's the kind of holiday I want. That's where I want to be. I don't want to be surrounded by lots of fucking annoying dickheads. So that's the kind of thing I'm thinking of doing. You know, I want peace and quiet and sunshine and relaxation. That's what I want. I don't want large crowds of people. I don't want people annoying me. I like to stay away from people as much as possible. Really. So, I'll have to have a look at some holiday ideas. Look for the off season. I always remember the time I went to Cuba when I was 16. There was basically nobody there. Nice beaches, really hot weather, great weather. There was hardly anybody around. The food was shit though. Food wasn't very good. Booze was fine. Plenty cigarettes to smoke and cigars. I mean, it was basically yeah. Anyways, whatever. I really don't want to be around people. I wanna be able to go have a holiday and avoid people. As strange as that sounds. Anyways, I might go to Amsterdam for a week soon. I really wouldn't mind going to Amsterdam. I don't know what it's like in Amsterdam these days. I would need to have a look before I go. But yeah, I might go there for a week, maybe, or somewhere else. Tell you what, I wouldn't mind checking out Australia and New Zealand, but the only thing is it's so far away. I don't know if I could. I don't think I could deal with the flight. Las Vegas. Well, that's the thing. I'm thinking maybe Las Vegas. Maybe I could bring 20,000. I want to go prepared though. I want to, actually get a lot of poker. I need more time to play poker and blackjack, and I want to learn baccarat as well. But yeah, I think a holiday to Las Vegas with $10,000, $20,000 or something like that to play with could be a really interesting holiday. Go there for a couple of weeks, maybe a month. See, and obviously I can, I could see how it goes. Wouldn't mind getting involved with poker tournaments. In fact, actually, for that amount of money, fucking hell, I could get into I could get myself into a WPT tournament, actually. If I could register for a big WPT tournament. If I did something like that, actually. Yeah, I saw there was I watched a documentary the other day of a guy. He won a satellite tournament, and he got into a WPT tournament, and it was like a guaranteed. So it was $10,000 entry fee, I think, for the tournament. But the prize pool, I think it was guaranteed, like, I don't know, it's like 40 million or 50 million or something like that. And I think the first place takes like 5 million or something like that. I don't know. But I think the first top it's like the top 100 places, they're all paid and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe something like that. I wouldn't. It's 10,000. It's a lot of money. Flipping heck, it is. It's a lot of money. But I would like to be able to say, well, this is an option for me. It's definitely an option for me. I have won some big tournaments before, like, well, not anything like, what I mean, like, I've done multi-table tournaments before, and I've got some experience with long tournament games, so they're some of my favorite to play. Really, is it's hard work. It is really hard work. So, and I mean, I need to do a lot of practice. I used to read poker books, and I used to have poker training software for, I can't remember what it was called, but I used to have this software remember I paid like $100 for it, and this was like, you know, this is like 15 years ago. And I used to have poker bots, and used to have lots of ways of practicing how to play poker in lots of different ways. You know, you got different bots. You can change their styles of play. You can do show hands and hide hands, and yeah, loads of really interesting. It's a very interesting learning tool. And I used to have Hold'em Manager 2, which is the heads-up display that you can put it as an overlay, so you can have a poker table, online poker table, and put the heads-up display over all the players, and you can have it show all the different statistics. So it basically it creates a database of the information for all the players that you play against, and it will tell you what their play style is like, and it shows you all different types of statistics, and you can change it to show the statistics that you want and all sorts of stuff. So it helps you analyze their style of play, so it makes it easier for you to make decisions based on their styles of play. But personally, I mean, I think there are some platforms now they don't allow you to use heads-up displays, and I don't actually like using them really. I much prefer it without a heads-up display, because I think when people start using shit like that, it takes the fun out of it, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, the thing is that I tend to play small stakes when I play online, and the players are so shit. They're so fucking bad. It's like, I have to drastically change. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I know the way that they should play. I know and the thing is that because their style of play it's so ridiculous. It's like, well, do you know what I mean? Like, I have to play. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could have if I have a really good hand, like a pair of aces. Do you know what I mean? And they almost become, that's the thing, because when players are so shit, they're so bad, some of them, they're so bad, they're almost unreadable. Their style of play is so bad, they almost become totally unreadable. It's like they have no fucking idea what they're doing. You try to analyze, when they call or raise or fold, or hands that they play, and trying to put them on a hand that they might have, and like, why did they do this on the flop, and why did they do this on the turn, and why are they doing this on the river, and wondering, like, do they actually have a good hand or not? Are they bluffing? Do they even know what the fuck they're doing? You know what I mean? And it just becomes a total. It's so fucking crazy. To even, you know what I mean? And then that's the thing, like, shit players, they also can get good hands as well, and they can get very good hands, and it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I prefer to play. I want to be playing games that are for more money, really, because I want to get rid of the shit players as much as possible, really. Because so many of them are so crap. They're so bad that it just becomes. It gets very boring to play them. It becomes very, very boring to play them. Yeah. Anyways. Whoa. I mean, because, when people are actually experienced and they have a certain amount of knowledge about the game, you know that you know, what you know, a decent player has a decent understanding of the game. So and obviously, they might be they might they might shift between different play styles. Like having a tight game style. Like maybe having very strict hand requirements, or maybe they play very loosely and aggressively, and they have a very broad range of hands that they will use, and they like to bluff a lot and stuff like that. And you can look at their betting sizes, and look at the kind of positions that they'll play from, and but when they're bad players, they don't have any understanding of how they don't really understand how the game is supposed to be played. All they see is 3 buttons. It's fold, call, check, or raise. Do you know what I mean? And they'll just click on whatever one they feel like at any fucking given time, and they don't even really know what they're doing. I mean, how are you supposed to analyze what someone's thinking when they don't think? Do you know what I mean? There's nothing going on there. Do you know what I mean? They don't understand the game at all. So, trying to read people is, do you know what I mean? Like, it becomes very, very tedious. But it's all part of playing poker, really. It is. But all I'm saying is that playing at low stakes all the time gets very, very boring. Do you know what I mean? I could be playing. I want to play more. I need to spend a bit more time playing more expensive games. So, but I don't really find the time for it, because that's the thing. It takes hours, and you know what I mean. Yeah, it's hard to stay concentrated on it when I've got so much other shit to think about. Anyways, that was a bit of a random thing to talk about. But yeah, I'm 37 years old, and I'm very disappointed with my life. I'm very disappointed with the world, and I feel like I deserve way better. I deserve so much better than what the world wants to offer me. So I feel like treating myself. I feel like doing something fun. Something that I find fun. I want to, if I want to be sitting around for ages, and do you know what I mean? I might as well be making money or having fun, or both. I might as well be getting some sunshine. I might as well improve my health. Buy myself nice clothes, buy myself things that I need. Might as well organize my life. So when good things do happen, if they ever do, well, at least I'll feel like I'm ready for it. I'm tired of putting things off for the sake of telling people that I'm good when they won't even acknowledge me. So it's boring. I'm tired of it. But this is the thing. The world's going to be in chaos. I mean, the world is. The chaos is going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. The chaos is going to get extremely bad. And that's the other thing, like, as the chaos gets worse for everybody, you know, I'm going to be looking out for myself, you know, so making sure I've got plenty of money, keeping myself happy, you know, my plan is to keep myself out of trouble, you know, while everybody else, you know, while the world suffers. Yeah, that's my plan. And see how long that goes on for. You know, obviously, it's all subject to change at the end of the day. You know, like, I don't know what, you know, I don't know what the situation is going to be in a year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years or 10 years. I don't know. I really don't know. But I've been doing this for 3+ years now, trying to tell people who I am. Everybody rejects me. In fact, I've been doing it longer than that. And even before I knew I was God, I was trying to tell people the truth, and they rejected me then. So, you know, I've been doing this really, do you know what I mean? I feel like I've been doing this more for about 10 years. But it was only halfway through that I realized I'm God. Okay? And I'm tired of it. I'm really, really, really tired of it. You know, spending an entire decade trying to get people to listen to me, and they won't. You know what I mean? Like, imagine spending 10 years trying to get people to listen to you, and after 10 years they're still not listening to you. Imagine how fucking crazy you would feel. Imagine how out of your mind you would feel. But that's how I feel. How the fuck I'm still here, I don't know. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I've got a really sore ass from sitting on this chair for so long. You know what I've actually noticed? I've noticed on my legs that on my lower legs, from my knee to my ankle, it's like I've lost a lot of hair. So on the outside of my leg, there's like almost no hair. Whereas on the inside of my leg, there's my hair. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm unhealthy. I don't know if it's because I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm getting hair loss on my freaking legs. I mean, how fucking crazy is that? I don't know why. I imagine it'll come back, to be honest. I don't know if it's maybe clothes I've been wearing have been chafing against my legs or something like that. It could just be that, maybe, but I don't know. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm not afraid. You know, if I found out I was going to die in 6 months' time, I wouldn't be happy, but I would accept it. I would be like, okay, well, that's how it's going to be then. You know, the world has very little to offer me anyway, so I'm God. I haven't got anything to worry about. It's the world that should be worried, not me. Yeah. But obviously I could say that, and you know, people are like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, well, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't care. You know, I often think if I lived in the USA, you know, I wouldn't be here anymore. I'll tell you that much. I definitely wouldn't be. Because it's too easy to, you know, leave. I mean, and that's the thing, in the United States of America, it's way too easy to take someone's, you know what I mean? It's very easy to you know, vacate the body. You know what I'm saying? Bang! You know what I'm saying? In this country, not so easy. Yeah, it's a bit more complicated than that. Yeah. I'm totally justified in hating the world. I really am. But the world isn't just... The world has no good reason to hate me. Yet it does. It does hate me. And all I can do is deal with it until I don't have to deal with it anymore. So... yeah. Anyways, I think I'll leave it there. This video's been long enough. Yeah, that's the thing, really. You know, there are all these people in the world who want to believe that when they die, they'll go to heaven. You know, but they don't deserve to. You know, how many people think? Do you know what I mean? How many people think they're going to go to heaven, but they've been married 3 times, or they've had, 10 different sexual relationships, and they've done all kinds of sinning, but they still kind of hope that God will still forgive them and accept them for who they are and all this shit. Those people, well, they are wishful thinkers, sinners. The fact is, you know what I mean? I mean, look at the church, the people who call themselves the Church of England. What do? They have female bishops. Like, did it not say, is it not very, very obvious? Do you know what I mean? They have pride flags outside of churches, and then they have, they want to say that, maybe God's female and all sorts of stuff like that. These are things, it's so obvious, like anybody should, do you know what I mean? Like, how can anybody, I mean, there are people who are atheists, people who don't believe in God, who know full well what it says in the Bible, what it says in the New Testament about, about homosexuality, what it says about women trying to lead in the church. Is God male or female? I mean, it's all said in the New Testament. I mean, how can anyone get that wrong? But the people who call themselves the Church of England, they get it horribly wrong. It's a clown show. That's all it is. It's a clown show. The world is a clown show, and I get to sit and watch it. See, that's the, if you've ever seen those films, It, with Pennywise the clown. Well, for me, it's kind of like, I look at a world, and the world it's like a psychopathic clown. But, the world behaves like that to me. But in reality, it's the other way around. I'm the one who gets to be the psychopathic clown to them. I will repay. Yeah? I'm the one who wins. And my glory will not be taken away from me. The glory of Jesus Christ, the glory of the Father, that's me, will not be taken away. People try. They try. Oh yeah, they try. You got people wandering around. They want to write God on their foreheads. In fact, I was watching a video. There was this one of these girls. What was her name again? She was from that American show. It's like the young girls dancing. The girl called Maddie, who she ended up doing the videos for Sia. Like Chandelier and Elastic Heart with Shia LaBeouf and whatever, right? Well, there was a girl from the show that she was on. It was like Dance Moms, I think it was called. And one of the girls, she has her YouTube channel, and she was with a male friend of hers, and I remember he had like a mask, from the film. I think it's called The Purge. Not that I never watched it, but maybe I should have a look at those films. But he's got one of those masks, and it's like a purge mask, and he's got God written across the forehead of the mask. I mean, that's all. I see a bunch. I see the world, and I that's how people behave. That is how people behave. I'm sick of hearing people. I'm sick of looking at a world that mimics me. It's like I've walked into a house of mirrors. A hall of mirrors where there are all these wonky mirrors, and I'm the only one there, and I'm just seeing all kinds of crazy, stupid reflections of me that aren't true reflections of me. They're warped reflections of me, and that is the world putting on a clown show. And I'm very tired of it, and I will destroy people who think that they can do that to me and get away with it. People will pay for the witchcraft they've done against me. All the sorcery and magic arts and idolatry, yeah. Anyways, I've said enough for this video. I'll leave it there.